Before leaving for the site, the leader must lead the team through the EHS preparation check to make sure all PPE and facilities are complete without missing. The team must check all personal protective equipment, PPE, tools, facilities, qualifications, and documents, and carry out vehicle safety checks.
Our job today is to hoist and install the antenna, RRU, and the retaining pole.
The team leader records the check results on the ISDP Smart QC app. The team must have all the required facilities and tool sets, which must comply with the safety and quality standards. All facilities must be free from damage and dirt. Metal parts must not be rusted, cracked, bent, or broken. The team leader checks the qualifications of every team member. Only qualified workers may work for Huawei business. Riggers, electricians, and first aid officers must be certified by an independent authority. And everyone of the team must hold a Huawei EHS certificate, such as Safety Passport. The team leader explains the locations of the towers and the nearest hospital, so that they can get medical support in the event of an accident. Helmets must include an impact-absorbing liner, a chin strap, and an adjustable headband. Safety shoes must be safe with anti-skid soles. Ordinary shoes, sneakers, or flip-flops must not be worn on site. Use a full body harness rather than a safety belt or half-body harness. Only a full body harness can protect the rigger's whole body. Fire extinguishers must be undamaged and fully pressurized. They should be regularly maintained to make sure they function properly. Do not use a lighter in place of a proper heat gun. Make sure all power cables on tools are in perfect conditions. Do not use cutters with rusted or unretractable blades. Do not use rusty or damaged pulleys. All PPE must comply with the local safety standards and EN standard. EHS risk assessments are needed for sites in remote areas. Teams must not work in poor weather, thunderstorms, snow, lightning, and winds of level 6 or higher. The team leader and 1 or 2 team members check EHS conditions at the construction site. The team leader allocates risk assessment tasks properly beforehand. They need to inspect the terrain, the equipment room, the tower structure, and the surrounding area for dangerous creatures such as snakes or wild bees. Try to stay clear of the snake if you find one at the site. If needed, call the authorities and start to work only after they take the snake away from the site. If a wild bee's nest is found, the team should take care not to disturb it. Everyone should stay well clear of the nest. The team leader records the check results on the ISDP Smart QC app and call the authorities to deal with the bees. The team can start work only after the authorities remove the bee nest. Before they begin work, the team shall put noticeable EHS warning signs at the site and set up warning tapes around the site. The EHS warning signs shall specify PPE for working on the ground, Huawei's EHS absolute rules, emergency contact numbers, general PPE for working at height, and specific PPE for riggers. The team leader gives EHS instructions and assigns tasks to all of the team members before they set to work. Riggers put on the PPE. They shall wear the full body harness first. Tie up the tool pouch to the waist. And then fasten all safety buckles. The safety belt should be neither too tight nor too loose. Riggers should be able to slip one hand between the body and the belt. Riggers must wear their anti-skid gloves and helmets, fasten the chin strap, and tighten the headband. If they are working in direct sunlight, they should also wear sunglasses. Riggers should clip on their lanyard. To the D-ring on the back of their harness. They also need to check each other's PPE, make sure all buckles are fastened and carabiners locked, and that the lanyard hooks are deadlocked. And Huawei training certificates, and uploads photos of the certificates to the ISDP Smart QC app. He checks the PPE on slingers. Finally, he reminds everyone of key safety issues. Before beginning work, the riggers give the tower a final visual inspection to make sure there are no obvious dangers. They check their tool leashes, they fasten their pulley to the side of their harness and deadlock it so that it cannot fall. They sort out their rope so that it does not get in the way as they climb the tower. Here is a comparison between the ordinary pulley and a pulley with fall arrest device. The latter is highly recommended. Climbing a tower without using the double lanyard violates the EHS absolute rules. The team leader should stop anyone he sees trying to do this. The double lanyard should be anchored to a secure location. Both ends of the lanyard must not be hooked onto the same place. The correct position is on both sides of the ladder, where it is attached to the tower. Riggers shall move the two ends of the lanyard in step. When a rigger needs to repeatedly climb a tower, or more than one rigger needs to climb the same tower at a time, a vertical lifeline is needed. Some towers may have a lifeline built into the structure. If there is no built-in lifeline, use a nylon rope. Lock the fall arrestor onto the lifeline. Connect the other end of the fall arrestor to the front D-ring. Test the arrestor. With a vertical lifeline, riggers can quickly climb the tower in safety. In some cases, riggers may have to install antennas without an aerial work platform because the tower was not properly designed. If a rigger needs to move right and left and has no proper support to attach to, set up a horizontal line and attach the lanyard to it for fall protection. In this case, the rigger needs to make sure at least one hook of the lanyard is always anchored to the tower. Measure the correct length of line between two safe anchorage points. This line will offer fall protection when riggers move horizontally on the tower. Attach the full body harness to the line with a positioning or double lanyard. This can provide the fall protection. Always use the lanyard properly. The hooks must be anchored to two different positions, above where you are working Do not anchor the hooks to the same position of the tower. If the tower breaks at this point, you could fall. Do not anchor the hooks to positions below where you are, because this means you will fall further and could be hurt. Falling from height without any protection can be fatal. You must not work at height without safety equipment. No one may enter the restricted area around the tower when riggers are working at height. If anyone enters the area, the team leader should stop them and teach them the safety regulations. If a tool, especially a pulley, falls from the tower, anyone below could be easily hurt or even killed. This is Huawei approved method for anchoring hoisting ropes. As the pole is composed of several parts assembled together and its support arms are quite heavy, the hoisting rope is attached to both upper and lower support arms. Use a hook to connect the hoisting rope to the pole. Fix the tow rope. The team leader directs hoisting on the ground and uses a walkie-talkie to communicate with riggers at height. When the pole is lifted up, two slingers pull the hoisting rope together. When the pole reaches the right height for installation, the two workers tie the hoisting rope to the tower leg or other convenient anchor. Antenna is lifted in the same way as a pole. Before lifting an antenna, tie the hoisting rope and tow rope to the antenna. Anchor the hoisting rope. Use a carabiner to fix the tow rope to the antenna so that it can be easily disengaged at height. When lifting an antenna, one person must hold the antenna to make sure the cables and ports at the bottom of the antenna are not scratched as it leaves the ground. Slingers pull slowly on the hoisting rope when the antenna comes close to the installation position. At this time, the riggers at height reach out to steady the antenna so that it does not hit the tower. Fix the antenna's upper support arm to the tower first. Otherwise, the antenna may pivot downwards under its own weight. Then, attach the lower support arm. Unfasten the hoisting rope. Disengage the tow rope. After the antenna is installed, start to hoist and install the RRU. Riggers on the tower must not lean forward to grab a rope with their hands or feet. This could cause them to fall. If the RRU is hoisted without a tow rope, it may easily collide with the tower or other devices installed on the tower. Do not stand directly under the RRU when it is suspended in the air. Do not untie the hoisting rope until the RRU is fastened to the tower. Otherwise, the RRU may fall. Tools without leashes to prevent them falling. Clear up the site, lock the gates, and leave.